Hi, students. Sorry, I got cut off in that last video, so I'm going to keep reading. Um, so she was the most beautiful baby. Everyone said she was so sweet-natured. Even Carlos said so. At night, I would wake up sometimes and just look at her sleeping in the cradle, and the fine dress Wendell made her, like a real live angel come down from heaven. Mama was feeling better by and by, but I still was the baby's mama, carrying and feeding and changing her and all. Wilbert helped me sometimes, although most of the time he was afraid of dropping the little baby, and I had to say, "Look, Wilbert, just hold the back of her head like this. You got to hold up the back of the baby's head. They're real tender there." Christmas Eve morning, I woke up all excited on account of St. Nicholas coming to feed us children and bring us gifts. I was feeling like a new minted penny, all fresh and fine, because baby Amy hadn't cried once all night. "Come on, little button," I said. "Time to get up and eat." So I picked her up, but something was wrong. She was stuck to the corner of the cradle, hard and cold. Oh, so cold. And when I put my ear to her heart, I couldn't hear nothing, not even a little pitter-pat, not the whispery breaths, nothing. And I started screaming, "Wilbert, Wilbert, Wilbert," and everybody came running. Isaiah, Alvin, Ivan, Papa, Wendell, and Carlo too. But I kept screaming, "Wilbert, Wilbert, Wilbert." And finally he came in from the barn, I guess, and said, "May, what's the matter?" And I screamed so loud my very voice broke. Even God could hear me, I swear. The words clear from my mouth to the angels in heaven. I said, "My baby's dead." I cannot remember ever in my life being colder than on that day we buried baby Amy in the graveyard out on the Smith Island across from the schoolhouse where my Uncle Henry first homesteaded years ago, high on the hill overlooking the Nasal. Even the birds refused to chirp. Wilbert said it was too cold for the birds, but I know it was because baby Amy was dead, and God tells every living thing when babies die and they mourn with us people. No preacher told me this, but I know it's the truth. We put Amy in the dress that Wendell had made her. It was real fine, so pretty looking, and Mama used her lavender velvet wedding dress to line the little casket Isaiah made. The box was a small one, much smaller than Nora's, and I thought the velvet would keep baby Amy warm. There were no flowers to put on the grave, it being winter, only tired geraniums. Everyone came from all around to the Smith Island for the burying. Wilbert said it was on account of Mama having helped birth all the babes in the valley. Our poor sick Mama, with the faraway look in her eyes, who kept that saying that Amy was the loveliest baby of them all. Grandmother Patience came to the Smith Island too after the preacher finished his piece, and it was silent enough to hear clear across the Nasal. She said, "Poor baby Amy. Too bad her Mama never got to care for her and only May Amelia. She might well be alive today and not lying there beneath a pile of geraniums if May Amelia hadn't dealt with her." Papa's mouth dropped open, and Mama went all pale, and the boys looked at her with wild, shocked eyes. Wilbur said, "That's a terrible thing to say, Grandmother. There ain't a lick of truth to it. It's true as my name is Patience Jackson," she said. "The babe would be alive if this either girl of yours hadn't handled her so." And that is when I ran. I ran so fast that Wilbert could barely catch up with me. I ran and ran all the way to the Nasal, tossing off my coat. It made me so slow. I ran and ran to the little boat tied to the riverbank, and I jumped in with Wilbert shouting, "May, May, wait for me. Don't go out by yourself. May, May, come on, May." But I couldn't hear him. I was far away already, far away from everything. So deep in my own memories of playing with baby Amy that I barely knew I was in the middle of the Nasal in my little boat. When Wilbert reached at the bank, he took another boat off the tie-up, I don't know whose boat, and he paddled after me, yelling and hollering, "May, May, come back, stop." And then he caught up, his boat aside of mine, and he jumped in. But I couldn't see him. All I could see was baby Amy wrapped in Mama's wedding dress, the lavender velvet faded and so worn already. Only threads in places, moth-eaten too. And I was wondering if she would be warm enough with only that tired old dress to keep her warm. What with the sharp wind blowing off the Nasal, and Wilbert started slapping me hard, saying, "May, May, come back. May, she's a wicked old woman. May, it wasn't your fault baby Amy died, because babies just die like that sometimes. It's not your fault." I had not cried one tear since baby had died, and then all of a sudden I couldn't stop, and I cried and cried until Wilbert's neck. I'm going to stop there.